Be a good Samaritan. All too often, the selfish side of our human nature shows itself as we pass by opportunities to help someone in need. The whole world has gotten itself in such a darn hurry where everything passes us by in the blink of an eye. John Bunyan said, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." John Bunyan was an English writer and a Puritan preacher. He is best remembered as the author of the Christian allegory, The Pilgrim's Progress. He was a member of the nonconformist group in the early 1600s and was later arrested and imprisoned for 12 years for refusing to stop preaching the Word of God. The concept of a Good Samaritan is fundamentally rooted in the ministry of Jesus Christ because of his deep love and compassion for people. Jesus constantly went out of his way to help people in need. Jesus spoke to the Samaritan woman at the well. The phrase, a Sunday Christian, is someone who attends church on Sunday and forget what it means to be a Christian the rest of the week. The parable that Jesus shares of the Good Samaritan is a depiction of the kind of Christian we are supposed to be and model. Being Christian means going out of our way to help someone in need. Like Christ, Christians should always look for opportunities to help someone in need without a motive or expectancy of repayment. When Jesus approached the Samaritan woman at the well, he demonstrates his love and compassion for all people, regardless of their social status. Today's society is a fast-paced world where people hardly even have time to stop at the well and get a drink. We call ourselves Christian, yet we often find ourselves entangled in conformity with the rush and hurry of this postmodern world we live in. We begin our week sitting in the pews listening to a broken record that keeps playing over and over, nodding our heads as if we measure up to the spoken word. Can Jesus really satisfy our thirst if our mission is pushed aside by honking horns and deadlines? The parable of the Good Samaritan makes a distinction between two kinds of people. Two godly men, a priest and a Levite, and a Samaritan man, an outsider. And so as a man lay on side of the road, beaten and stripped of his clothes and left for dead, the priest and the Levite passed by on the other side of the road as if they were late for church. The Samaritan man, an outsider, stops. He bandages the man's wounds. He shows his love and compassion for the man. So which man do you say as a follower of Jesus? The church portrays to be made up of saved men and women. Last Sunday, my two daughters, Kristen and Brittany, went out for a morning jog. Brittany rolled her ankle on the edge of the road and fell into the ditch, cutting her hand and was bleeding. While my oldest daughter, Kristen, went to go get the car to take her to the hospital, many cars had passed by without stopping to ask if she needed any help. Perhaps they were late for church too. Love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22, verse 31. Be a nonconformist, outsider, willing to do something good for someone, and continue to work out your salvations. Philippians 2:12. Be a good Samaritan.